Welcome back to my episode reviews of the final chapter of the War for Cybertron Trilogy, Kingdom. Today, we're taking a look at episode 3. This episode begins with the Allspark coming through the space bridge and crashing on Earth. After the intro, we learn that the Allspark is responsible for this glitchy effect, as it seems to be terraforming the area around it. Up in the beautiful night sky, we see AirRaiser. Aww, I love this image of AirRaiser flying through the starry sky like Iron Man. It's so pretty. Meanwhile, Prowl and Sideswipe are trying to keep up with Cheetor on the ground. I appreciate that we get a little bit of that kid Cheetor. I just wish that his voice matched the character better. Overlooking them, we have RC, Rattrap, and the two Optimuses. Optimies? Primal and Prime. And I like that RC and Rattrap are standing next to each other. Maybe as a hint to her being his great aunt? But unfortunately, he doesn't mention that fact to her. I guess because of the whole thing about it being too dangerous to know too much about your own future. It's a little weird that Optimus chooses Bumblebee to take over as leader in his absence. Especially considering how at the beginning of this whole show, he wasn't even an Autobot and wanted nothing to do with them. You'd think that he'd pick someone like RC or Ironhide or Ratchet or Prowl, someone who seems to have more of a leadership role. But I guess Prime picked B because of the whole Alpha Trion protocols thing. For this continuity, Bumblebee is essentially the chosen one instead of Hot Rod. Speaking of which, I'm surprised that we haven't seen him in this yet. He is the commander class figure for Kingdom. You'd think that Hasbro would want to push him, like they did with Jetfire and Skylynx in the previous two chapters. Meanwhile, the Decepticons are trudging through the forest when they begin to have visions. At first, I thought it was just Megatron because of the Matrix again, but soon the others will be affected too. But we'll get to that in a moment. First, we have Dinobot talking about how he studied the Primes, describing them as honorable warriors. This is when they spot the Autobots walking through the forest below.
Ah, the pink ones. Cute.
The pink one? But the only pink one is... Oh. So Black Arachnia likes girl bots too. Well, in that case, let me introduce you to my OC, Miss Arachnia. Seriously, this was a bit of a surprise. And I love that we finally have some official LGBTQ+ representation in a Transformers cartoon. Not just a joke or hinted at. I'm so happy to see some sapphic energy coming from Black Arachnia here. I kind of hope that she and RC do hook up. So the Allspark's effect begins to envelop the Autobots and Maximals.
Cheetor! Primal! Rattrap! RC! The red one!
The red one? Oh, she meant Sideswipe. Aw, poor Sideswipe. AirRaiser couldn't remember your name. So cute. And like I mentioned earlier, the Autobots and others begin seeing visions of bots that they've lost. Optimus Prime sees Alpha Trion, RC sees Cog, Sideswipe sees Sunstreaker, Starscream sees his crown, and Black Arachnia hears wolves howling. It's very interesting seeing what they dream of. Optimus Prime sees Alpha Trion. You would think that he'd want to see his girlfriend Elita 1, but maybe at this point in time he'd rather see his mentor Alpha Trion so that he could give him some fatherly advice. RC sees Cog. Does that mean that she liked him? Like as a friend? Or maybe something more? Sideswipe sees Sunstreaker, who I think we can safely assume is his brother in this continuity as well. Starscream getting his cape and crown is obviously an homage to the G1 movie. And I must say that he looks pretty cute in them. Aw man, why isn't that the spoiler box for Kingdom? I would totally buy an Emperor Starscream toy with his little dress-up accessories. Even though it literally is just a new hat.
Don't be fooled! She's just a regular Malibu Stacy with a stupid cheap hat!
But she's got a new hat.
And Black Arachnia hearing a wolf howl is very interesting. Obviously, the original Black Arachnia was in love with Silverbolt, who was part wolf and part eagle. We even see the shape of a wolf's head in the fog behind her. But as we just saw, Black Arachnia is into girl bots. Maybe she's not a lesbian after all. Maybe she's actually bi. Or maybe she just fears a hetero relationship. I wonder if she'd be into a gender-bent wolfang. Okay, I gotta stop bringing up that fan art in every video. So, Starscream and Dinobot fight, and Screamer chucks Chopperface off the cliff, where he meets Airazor. And I know that she's just putting her hand on Dinobot's snout to help herself up, but it kind of looks like she's giving him pets. Aww. And Dinobot's Raptor mode is so cute. I love it. He's such a cute little dino.
I am a warrior. You've shown me that my choices are my own. And yet, how ironic, leaves me with no choice at all.
This definitely feels like somebody was watching the Beast Wars episode, Code of Hero, because this is almost exactly what Dinobot said in that episode.
I am a warrior, and my choices are my own. And yet, how ironic. For I now find I have no choice at all.
Dinobot goes to face Megatron, and he quickly deals with Soundwave and his pets, stabbing Soundwave in the chest and through Laserbeak. Aww, poor little bird bot. Dinobot and G1 Megatron face off, and I like how they have a sword fight. Definitely makes this a little different from most of the other battles in this trilogy. But unfortunately, they are interrupted by Beast Megatron, who severely damages Dinobot.
Megatron, let me help you! You are injured, but I am here.
You admire him for what he is now. You hope you can save him from what he become.
It really sounds like Beast Megatron is in love with G1 Megatron. Who knows? Maybe Black Arachnia isn't the only gay bot in this show.
At least, I still have my honor.
Yep, it definitely sounds like someone was watching Code of Hero when they wrote this. So Dinobot yoinks the Matrix and runs off into the woods with it, where he speaks to it, and it guides Optimus Prime and the rest of the good guys to him. Where, yet again, they basically recreated Dinobot's death in Code of Hero. The only thing they're missing is his speech at the end, but I guess that wouldn't exactly make sense in the context of this show. It's a very touching tribute, but it'll never replace the original scene. Although this scene did make me tear up.
What's Chopperface doing here?
Saving vermin like you.
Aww. And this episode ends with the Matrix guiding Optimus Prime to the Allspark. This was an amazing episode of Kingdom. Easily the best in the entire War for Cybertron trilogy so far. I loved it. It had beautiful moments, queer moments, cute moments, shocking moments, and sad moments. It was so good. Dinobot's death was so sad, but actually meaningful. Which I think is the first time that's been true in this series, where bots get killed off at the drop of a hat. The closest before this was Cog. But Dinobot's death actually made me cry. Maybe it's my history with the character. I'm more attached to the Beast Wars cast since they were a part of my childhood. Or maybe it's because Dinobot's voice actor did such a good job. Or it could be the writing. I mean, they did crib a lot from Code of Hero, but they kind of made it their own too. Also, I forgot to mention it in the previous episode, but Dinobot and Airazor seem to have a similar relationship to him and Nyx in the new Beast Wars comic. I hope that in the comic, Dinobot becomes a mentor to Nyx, helping her become a better warrior and stuff like that. It's sad that we won't get to see more of Airazor and Dinobot together in this series. Well, I loved this episode, and I cannot wait to watch the next one to see what they do now. So let me know what you thought of this third episode of Kingdom. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for my review of the next episode of this final chapter of the War for Cybertron trilogy.